Alright, so the first developer update is here for January 2024, and we're going to go through this quick because everybody's done like 30-40 minute videos on it. We're just going to go over the key things, I think. So generators, I was completely wrong about the developer update last time. They said, we think you'll get a kick out of it, so I was thinking it was going to be something goofy like you kick the same gen 3 times in a row, you get like a 40% movement speed reduction or something like that, something goofy. But I guess that pun was just for nothing because really what it is, each generator can only suffer from a maximum of 8 regression events, where a regression event is any time a killer or their perks remove at least 2.5% of a generator's progress. So you can only kick a gen 8 times, basically. In the overwhelming majority of games, this will not come into play. However, in the scenarios where the killer is defending a certain set of gens and refusing to chase survivors, this will eventually come into effect, and they can no longer damage the generator. 8 kicks is kind of a lot. So I think we'll have to see how it goes on the PTB tomorrow. But I don't know if I've ever regressed a single generator 8 times in my like 3 years of playing this game, honestly. Even when I run like a full slowdown build, pain res, pop, you know, overcharge, Colorblind meta, maybe back then, but yeah, not anytime lately. They increased the amount. Instead of 2.5% per gen kick, it's 5% as a base, which should have been like that from the jump, in all honesty, because anytime you kick a gen, you're giving up time. You know what I mean? A survivor's gaining distance on you, or you're just not harassing, checking other generators. You're committing to kicking that gen. It should have always been 5%. I don't know why it was ever 2.5, but yeah. And then to compensate for only being able to kick it 8 times, gen tapping's no longer a thing. A survivor's gonna have to repair 5% worth of the generator's total charges in order to stop the regression. So a survivor can no longer, you know, you can't hit a generator with pop goes the weasel and then a survivor just tap it and completely stop it. Now they have to stay on it for 5%, which is probably like, what, 3 seconds, something like that? Okay, so 4 seconds. So a survivor will have to work on a generator for 4 consecutive seconds to stop it from regressing, which is nice. This will help ensure that the killer always gets some value from kicking a gen and encourage survivors to think twice before attempting to stop the regression. I'm a big fan of this so far. I think this all seems really solid to me. Up next is the beta for the FOV slider. Be advised that adjusting the FOV may cause visual issues. Yeah, Huntress, when you're in the wider FOV and you throw a hatchet, your arm, like her shoulder, like disconnects from her body. I don't know what's up with that, but that would be nice if they fixed that. I don't know if they're gonna fix that because it doesn't really affect the gameplay at all. But so is Shadowborn permanently locked in one of your perk slots? Well, that's about to change thanks to the FOV slider. Thank you. I've been waiting for this for so long. FOV increases so nice as Huntress. It helps me hit so many more hatchets, but it is a slider now. It's going to be in the beta tab. It'll eventually come to the main game. And let me just tell you what, this FOV slider has way bigger implications than people may be thinking. I'm going to make a whole video about it tomorrow, but let's just say Huntress is getting an insane buff from this FOV slider, and yeah, she's just going to be absolutely insane from this. Like, not gonna lie, she's going to be insane, and I'll explain more of that in a video tomorrow, but needless to say, she's going to start going crazy. Then they got a rework for the Onryo, and honestly, I don't really know how to feel about it. When the Onryo teleports, survivors within 16 meters of a power TV will receive a stack of Condemned. The teleport cooldown has been removed, allowing her to teleport more frequently. When a survivor's hooked, their current Condemned progress becomes locked in, preventing it from being removed. This is a huge amount of slowdown, considering every single generator damn near has a TV right next to it. And what does no cooldown mean? Can she just teleport like 8 times within 5 seconds? You know what I mean? Besides the animation. And then the cursed tapes no longer protect survivors from gaining Condemned, so holding a tape means nothing. Cursed tapes are no longer destroyed or inflict Condemned when a survivor is hit. Cursed tapes can only be deposited in the furthest TV from where they're picked up. So this is going to be a nightmare for really good survivors, or really good Onryos against survivors, because, you know, say you get your 3rd stack of Condemned, you go to grab a tape. The Onryo has the add-on that lets her know you grabbed a tape. She just does some, you know, basic guesswork, teleports to the TV that you're about to put it in. You run away, she teleports to the next TV, teleports to the next, and then you're dead. You know what I mean? Or if you get to like 6 stacks, then she downs you, hooks you, and now all of a sudden you're locked in at 6 stacks of Condemned. So next time she teleports to you and downs you, you're dead instantly. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like it's still going to be a nightmare for solo queue. I don't know. This is going to be so much slowdown though, because holding a tape no longer protects you. So now you're just going to have to keep pulling off over and over and over and over and grabbing tapes over and over and over. So we'll see how this goes. The Onryo can now chase while demanifested. You know, that's kind of huge to be honest, but maybe not. I don't know, because she can force the window block. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough. She can't be stunned still, which is solid, I guess, but... And they made the Raiko's Watch base kit. The duration of invisibility while demanifested has been increased to 1.2, as base kit was 1 second. So, and they've obviously changed a bunch of her add-ons, but we're not going to see all that till tomorrow on the PTB. Then up next, we got the Hillbilly. Basically, overheat's gone. It's overdrive. Anytime your chainsaw overheats, it goes into overdrive. For the next 20 seconds after hitting overdrive, Chainsaw charge speed is increased by 5%. His chainsaw sprint speed is increased to 13 meters per second. I think it's 9.2 meters per second currently. Chainsaw sprint's cooldowns are reduced by 10%. So that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. He's like, what, 4 meters per second faster? And then the base chainsaw sprint movement speed is increased by 10%. So he's going to be 15% faster compared to how he is now when his chainsaw's in overdrive mode, which is a base kit beast engravings, right? Reduces the size of the chainsaw's collision detection to make chainsaw sprints more maneuverable and maps with high density tiles. Camera sensitivity is no longer incorrectly tied to controller sensitivity. So just some quality of life things. His add-ons got changed as well, but we won't be seeing that till tomorrow on the PTB. But it's looking pretty good for Billy. It's looking pretty good for Billy for sure. I'm really interested to see how many more Billy minutes we're going to be seeing now that he's, you know, significantly better, and to see what his add-ons are going to be looking like. So we'll see how that goes. Then we got Blight. Blight's nerf finally. Wasn't sure if that was ever going to happen. Okay, so Adrenaline Vial no longer decreases time to rush, no longer decreases time to recharge a rush token by 1 second, no longer increases rush speed by 10%. So they just removed 2 of the effects. It still has the other 3 effects: decreases turn rate by 55, increased look angle by 20, and increased rush tokens by 2. So I still think it's solid. Not as good as it was before, but it's still solid. Alk Ring, instead of restoring all your rush tokens on hit, it increases rush duration by 20% for each rush. So that means at 5 rushes, at your 5th rush, if your first rush is 3 seconds, your 5th rush will be 6 seconds. And then if you combine that with Adrenaline Vial, your 7th rush will be like 7 seconds, which is kind of crazy. I think you should be able to cross the entire map by your 7th. You know, if you hit the wall and you start your 7th rush, you should probably be able to cross almost the whole map, maybe like 3/4 of it. Compound 33 got nerfed, of course. Compound 33 is the one that reduces survivor's movement speed while being able to break through pallets with a 1.5 second cooldown. Each consecutive rush now, which is longer than 4 meters, increases turn rate by 33%, which honestly is going to be crazy because 5 rushes times 33 is like, what, 181%? And then 7 rushes times 33 is, I think, 241%. So you're going to be able to do like a 1080 turn by your 7th rush token if you combine those two. And I actually think that's really, really good, to be honest, being able to turn way better. And after what, 1 rush? No, 2 rushes. 2 rushes with Compound 33 will completely negate the downside of the Adrenaline Vial. So that's definitely something interesting. I think that's a really cool add-on change. And then the Iridescent Blight tag. This add-on can be extremely powerful in the right hands. It also promotes the awkward gameplay of repeatedly slamming into a wall to take advantage of the effects. I remember the first time I seen that, I was like, what the hell is this dude doing? He's just humping the wall over and over and over until he gets his last hit. So now it enables rushes to be performed without spending tokens. Rush bonuses are capped after 3 consecutive rushes. Blighted Corruption goes on cooldown for 20 seconds after landing a successful attack. Successful lethal rush. So basically you could rush 90, 120, 400 times in a row if you wanted to. But the bonuses like the Blighted Crow and Blighted Rat, where you're 5% faster for each consecutive rush, will only cap out at 3. So if you have the Blighted Crow, which is 3% per each rush, then after 3 rushes you'll be 9% faster, and then, you know, at rush 70 you'll still only be 9% faster. So that's kind of interesting. I really don't know how good it's going to be, to be honest. A 20-second cooldown. He is a 115 killer, though, which isn't too bad. It's definitely going to be a really good add-on for crossing the map. Like, you could easily scout out the entire map in, like, what, 10 rushes probably. So that's definitely an interesting one. And we'll see how that goes. And then we got perk updates. This is the one I'm excited for the most, to be honest. These changes, besides the FOV slider. Save the best for last. This perk indirectly became stronger when the successful basic attack cooldown was reduced some time ago. Certain killers can now circumvent the downside by using their special attack to injure the obsession. To tone it down and make it more consistent across all killers, we made the following changes. Each token grants a 4% decrease. Successful basic attack cooldown was 5, so now it's 32%. 2 tokens are lost when the obsession loses a health state by any means. Was basic attacks. It's tough. It's tough. You know, Demo's not going to be able to use it anymore. Trapper is probably not going to use it anymore. I don't know. I don't know who's going to use it anymore. It's not really. That was kind of the. I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of broken things. I'm biased, but old school play with your food when you could use hatchets but be 15% faster. I honestly loved that. But now it's like, I understand it though. Save the best for last is a really strong perk, and I'm not a big fan of killer perks being nerfed, but at the same time, when I was playing with my friends Survivor and we'd go into the basement and there's just nothing we could do because the killer had saved the best for last and they'd absolutely shred all of us, it was very annoying. Like, there's just nothing you can do at all. You could try your best, but there's no outplaying it at all. So I guess I understand it, but yeah, I don't know how to feel about it, honestly. This is the one I was excited for. I was really excited to see how they changed Grim Embrace. Grim Embrace blocks generators for a substantial duration. It's only, what, 40 seconds, which is not long at all. I mean, it is long, you know what I mean? But after you get your 4th hook, you spend probably 30 seconds looking for a survivor. Chances are they're probably all hiding in lockers waiting it out. However, it only activates once and requires a killer to hook every survivor once. It can be a little inconsistent and hard to activate, therefore we added a secondary effect. I was hoping that they were going to make it to where it's 60 seconds of blockage, or maybe 40 seconds. Like, so you hook 1, 2, 3, 4, it triggers, hook 1, 2, 3, 4, it triggers. I was also kind of hoping for like a tokenized system to where you could activate it whenever you wanted. So you get your 4th hook, and then you get a little prompt that says press G to activate Grim Embrace. I honestly think that would be better than how it is now, but I still like how it is now. The first time each survivor is hooked, all generators are blocked for 12 seconds once the killer moves 16 meters from the hook. This will ensure the killer is always able to get value out of the perk, even if the last elusive survivor manages to evade them, and rewards killers for switching targets. 12 seconds? It's a decent amount of time. I would have rather preferred it be like 16 seconds. 12 seconds where the survivors aren't doing anything at all on every single gen. You know what I mean? If you think about it, 12 seconds, say there's you hook one survivor and you got the other 3 survivors being super efficient. Well, that's 12, 24, 36 seconds of progress that you just negated overall. So honestly, you know, potentially what you're looking at is over 3 or 4 minutes of time generator progress being completely negated. I can definitely see this perk being a problem. I think it might get nerfed, honestly. I hope it doesn't, because as a Huntress main, this is what I like. I don't like kicking slowdown. I like passive slowdown. That's why I loved the Hex Ruin meta, because I don't have to kick gens. You know, I'm not running Pot Goes the Weasel. I'm just chasing survivors. I'm just chasing survivors. I don't have to waste my time kicking gens. And that's why I love Deadlock. I love Corrupt Intervention. I love, you know, Pain Res and Deadman Switch combo, stuff like that. So, but I think this could be a problem. You load another match, right? You get it down, you pick them up, boom. Every generator that's not being worked on is blocked by Thrilling Tremors, right? So every gen that's not being worked on is blocked for 16 seconds. You throw them on the hook, you run 16 meters away. Now every gen is blocked for 12 seconds. Now would this stack with Deadman Switch? So because Deadman Switch activates anytime a survivor lets off a gen, if I run 16 meters away from the hook and I have Deadman Switch, is it going to be all generators are blocked for 30 seconds that the survivors were working on, and then the other generators are going to be blocked for 12 seconds? Because obviously the generators that aren't being worked on isn't going to have any survivors to kick off. I feel like if this combos with Deadman Switch, like a Grim Embrace Deadman Switch combo, would be insane. I mean, I could easily see a Thrilling Embrace meta, like a Thrilling Embrace Deadman Switch meta. You know, Thrilling Tremors, Grim Embrace, might as well just call it Thrilling Embrace, Deadman Switch, and then like Deadlock, you know, Pain Res, maybe Corrupt Intervention. You know, no gen kicking at all, but survivors just not being able to work on the gens. I do like the change. I kind of wish it would be 12 seconds each time the survivor is hooked, and once you hook the 4th one, it resets. So then you hook the first again, the second, the third, the fourth, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, but only 8 times. So that way it really encourages you to spread out your hooks as much as possible. Because if I hook 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like, yeah, okay, now I get my full Grim Embrace, but now I can just tunnel somebody out. But if you make it 12 seconds for each second hook, you know what I mean? After you get all 4, you have to get all 4, and then you can reset Grim Embrace. Then that'll encourage killers to go after each killer, or each survivor individually. It'll give them more time to do so. But I definitely like how it is so far. It's solid. Quick Gambit, we don't even need to talk about it. Absolutely garbage before, still garbage now. Increase the range from 24 to 36, decrease the repair speed to 5%. Nobody's going to run it. Moving on. Hex Ruin, same deal. Hex Ruin is no longer disabled once the survivor's killed. Trash perk, 100% regression rate, worthless. They could have bumped it up to 150% and then have it still disabled when a survivor's killed. I thought that would have been way better. Nobody's going to run Ruin ever. Definitely not worthy of being a hex perk. Shadowborn, when blinded by any means, gain a 10% haste effect for 10 seconds. This is going to be really good in some situations. This is going to be really good in some situations, but awful in others. But then you have certain times where you get hit by Blast Mine, right? And what do? You're trying to put pop down on a generator, right? You kick the gen, you get Blast Mined. That lasts for what, 3-4 seconds, and then you can kick the gen again, which takes another 3 seconds. So if you get hit with a Blast Mine, you're only going to get like 1 to 2 seconds of the haste. And then unfortunately, Monitor and Abuse gain no secondary effect. They just remove the FOV change, and you know, left it as it is, which is, you know, it's all right. Ormond is renovated, it's changed, which is kind of nice. I wasn't a big fan of that huge rock wall, very annoying. But I think the map needs to be smaller, to be honest. I don't know. I'm biased because I'm a Huntress main and she's 110. It just takes forever to cross maps. And the way maps are nowadays, there's just so much junk, so much clutter, so many line of sight blockers. It's just like, man, I really don't want every map to be smaller, but if they're not gonna make Huntress 115, then I would rather them make every map smaller, to be honest. It's just, I hate having to cross. You know, I'm not even gonna go into that. Anyways, so yeah, they're changing it up, adding some like snow piles and ski racks and stuff like that. So yeah, the PTB goes live tomorrow at I'm assuming 9:30 a.m. For more information on the live game changes, please join us at 9:30. Yeah, so that's when it's gonna go live. I'll be at work, unfortunately, but I'll be on right after work, and we'll be making videos about it, and I'll go into detail for all you guys who want to know why the Huntress is gonna be absolutely insane with this new FOV slider. But yeah, that does it for this one. Really good update so far. I'm really happy with almost everything on the list. I think they're doing a really good job, and this is probably one of the best developer updates in a really long time. I'm really excited to see it all in action. But yeah, that does it for this one. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.